at the minute it's due to health and safety concerns. They don't want too many officials crammed into that room at Stockley Park. Being in close proximity with each other, watching games all day. And I'm, for one, more up for that. I am fully behind scrapping VAR for health and safety reasons.
That excuse is very, very convenient for the people at Stockley Park and the Premier League referees, because VAR, as it's been used this season, we've seen that it's not worked. We've gone on for hours and hours about how bad VAR has been, how much it's benefited a certain team, how much it's caused more confusion and utter bewilderment throughout the football world, because you could understand referees in a 90-minute game who were keeping up with play, running around like madmen, making a mistake. You can understand that, but then to still have them same mistakes and even more mistakes, or this phantom armpit offside rule, all these things added on, as well as the way it breaks up the flow of the game, VAR completely as it was implemented was a non-starter from the first game of the season, effectively, in my eyes.
Yeah, I think it became pretty clear pretty quickly that people were not happy with VAR. I think the first incident I remember of it this season would have been, was it Raheem Sterling's armpit being offside against West Ham?
No,
on the opening day of the season?
No, it was Rodri's goal, where, I don't know if it was in the Community Shield, when it hit a defender's arm on the way through from a corner.
Really?
Yeah, because he chalked off a perfectly legitimate goal because it brushed one of the City defenders' hands before Rodri had put it in.
Oh, I don't remember that.
But the one that sticks out in my mind is when Liverpool were under the cosh against Leicester at Anfield in September, and they needed a goal, and then Sadio Mane was in the box, realised the ball's got to go. He's been tackled by Ricardo Pereira. I'll just throw myself to the deck, and Stockley Park and VAR couldn't wait to give a penalty for that.
It just seems that there's been such lack of consistency with VAR in its decision making. There have been several meetings about how to change it, and none of these things have worked. And I think if they want to go along this line of health and safety for the officials in Stockley Park, I'm all behind it for this half a season. I mean, even if they didn't want to do that, they could run it in the background and not use it, and try and iron out issues while it's there with just one person in the room.
Or even, like what we've been advocating for a long time, is have a fourth or fifth official stood on the commentary gantry or in the second tier now of an empty stadium, and have him following along on screens as part of the match day and match atmosphere refereeing quartet or quintet.
Oh yeah, this is now the perfect opportunity to put my plan of having an official in the stands into action, because there's nobody else around him. You can almost find him the perfect spot.
Yeah, and he's not going to be swayed by crowds, which he should be anyway, because he should have a feel for the game that he's refereeing or part of the refereeing team on. He should have a feel for the atmosphere, how challenges are going, and it shouldn't be sterile, is what I'm saying, for VAR and for the refereeing team, because every decision is unique to that atmosphere in that game. You can't then take it outside of that bubble and make it an accountancy transaction, especially when no one's really got a clue what the categorical right or wrong answer is on the football rules, particularly on offside.
Well, it's the objective decisions that cause the most amount of problem.
But I have no issue with objective decisions being made by the referee or a VAR official in the stand who's part of that refereeing team. The issue I've got is when you're sterilising those objective decisions and undermining the referee. And as we've seen, very few referees are willing to stand up to Stockley Park and go over and look at the VAR monitor.
Well, that's where the problem comes in, is that these are objectives of the ref. This is when the referee's decision on the field gets overturned. When he you can't hear what they're saying, so he could be saying to the officials back at Stockley Park, I've got a clear view of it. I'm not doing anything about it. I thought it was fine. Then VAR say, well, I've got a different opinion to you. Call it back. And then the ref, I don't know what his option is then to turn around to VAR and say, no, I'm sticking with my decision. I don't know if that's on the ref or if it's on VAR for overpowering it, but that's when the problem comes in, is that when you're overturning decisions of the referee on the field. Because like you said, they have more of a feel for the game because they're there.
And then if you're overturning the referee's decision against his wishes without him consulting a monitor, you're effectively making the referee obsolete and you're refereeing the game off a monitor in Stockley Park.
Exactly. You have absolutely no need for the ref. He's just in the way then. And if you're, reffing it from an eye in the sky.
The only instance I have of a referee standing up to VAR was the Rashford's goal when Liverpool drew with United at Old Trafford, when Lindelof tackled Origi and Origi decided to throw himself on the floor like he'd been shot.
I think there must have been other instances where the ref, but I know exactly what one you're on about.
And they kept going over it, and then Sky Sports News, with the slanted view and bias towards Liverpool Football Club, decided to mock up some VAR thing, saying that Martin Atkinson couldn't see the tackle. It was just a load of rubbish. Like the referee made a decision, was clear in his decision. It wasn't a foul anyway. Move on. It's a goal.
Yeah, there've been plenty of occasions where that's happened this season, and I think everybody will be, quite happy to see the back of VAR, even if it's only for half a season.
Yeah, and hopefully, and it brings in people looking at VAR and having a bit more skill and nuance in terms of being able to cherry pick what VAR can do, because there's no argument that VAR should be used for clear-cut offside decisions where players are offside by a country mile. Take Didier Drogba in 2010 at Old Trafford, when you could drive a Ford Fiesta through the gap between a back four and him, but yet he wasn't offside. And flip that on the other hand, where with United and Arsenal this year, where Aubameyang was onside and they blew him up as offside. That's where VAR is good, or when it catches a player elbowing another player. But the way it was implemented, it was just too much micromanagement on a football game.